So the topic I want to speak about today is different starts or different starting points. There was a video that was sent around YouTube recently that I saw that I found very interesting. There was a teacher who had all of his students stand in a field in a straight line. And their job was to all run to the finish line. Well, before they could run, he asked a couple questions. He says, anyone whose parents have not been divorced, please take a step forward. And, a lot of people stepped forward, but, some of them couldn't. Then he said, anyone whose parents are below the poverty line, don't step forward. Everyone else step forward. Anyone whose parents who had an education level higher than so-and-so, please step forward. Anyone who doesn't have to work as a student and then work also, please step forward. And he kept asking these questions. And suddenly the line was not a straight line anymore. There were many students who were now all the way close to the finish line, where 2 steps, 3 steps, they would hit the finish line. There were some students that were in the middle. There were some students that didn't take a single step. They were stuck all the way at the back. And then the teacher says, 1, 2, 3, run. And everyone ran to the finish line. But the surprising thing was, the people who won were not the people in the front. Some people who were in the very back of the row, they didn't run very fast and they just gave up. It was too far. Some of those people at the very back, they saw how far away they were and they put in the extra work because they knew they had to overcome an obstacle. So they put in extra energy, extra effort, and they got there first. Some people who were at the very front, they figured, well, we're almost there. Why put in the effort? So they just jogged and walked slowly. Whereas some people who were at the front thought, well, we're almost there. Why not get it done? And they sprinted. Same thing with the people in the middle. Some people who are in the middle says, oh, we have an advantage. Why take it so seriously? Whereas other people says, we have an advantage. Don't waste it. And they race to the finish line. In Buddhism, this is one of the concepts that we believe in, is that what we have in life is based on the karma that we've created in the past. What kind of people we were, what kind of things that we did, good or bad, will lead us to be putting ourselves in good or bad situations. However, your past doesn't define who you will be. It defines what you have now. It defines who you are now, but it doesn't define who you will be. Who you will be is a combination of your past and your present choices. If your present choices do not change and they're always the same, then you're the same and you will not change. Your situations will not change. Your future will not change because you haven't changed. If you strive to ask the people around you to change, they might change. But don't forget, you haven't changed. And so you might lose them from your life, but your life won't get better because you haven't changed. But no matter what situation you find yourself in, a wise person once told me to think about it as, think about the short term and the long term. What you gain in the short term, but versus what you might gain in the long term. What you lose in the short term versus what you'll lose in the long term. The people who know to put in effort, the people that try their best, the people that work hard no matter what it is, these people see the long term. If you allow me another story about some great American heroes in history of the Olympics. There was one gentleman, I do not remember his name, he was an African American, and it was a long time ago in the 1990s, where he had to run a race, like a sprint, let's say 100 meters or something. And at the first 25% mark, he pulled something in his leg and he just fell down and he couldn't run. So his race was over. He started crying, he started screaming in pain. But what he ended up doing was, he thought about it, I worked so hard to get here. So many people have supported me. I represent my country. I represent my family. And if I get off the track, everything was for nothing. There's not even going to be a record that I ran this race. So he got up, and on one leg, he hopped as far as he could, and almost passed out. Then his father ran from the stadium, came down and put his arm around him. And now all the medical people started running on the stage saying like, help him, help him. And the father says, no, let him get to the finish line first. Why would he do that? Because for him, it was bigger than just a race. It was bigger than just an accident. This was his legacy. This was his future. This is the kind of person that he wanted to be, the kind of person that he wanted to be remembered as. He saw the long game. He saw the future. And that's why he worked for it. He didn't work for the present. He worked for the future. And there was one more example. I think her name was Carrie Strauss from 1992 Olympics also. 1996, I think. She competed in the 1992 Olympics, and the United States got, in the gymnastics, they got bronze, I think. Russia and Romania were winning everything. And finally, in 1996, they had another Olympics, and they competed. They got to the end, and the last two Americans were going to run. And if they could get just the 94 points, America got gold. The first girl fell down and got 91, so it wasn't enough. And so it was up to this girl, Carrie Strauss, to get at least 94, and she was great. So she ran the vault, jumped, and fell, and got a 91. But when she landed, she tore 2 of her ankle ligaments, and so she couldn't even walk anymore. So now the moment of truth. You are the last chance that America has to win the Olympics. You are the person that the whole team can rely on, but you tore your ligaments. What do you do? And as a part of American history, like what she did went down forever. She taped it up. And even with only one working leg, she ran the vault, jumped, did it perfectly, and landed on one foot. And after she landed, she got the points and fell over, and she couldn't walk for like a long time. But because of her actions, American gymnast, the female gymnast, got gold for the first time in like a long time. And she's forever remembered as that person who sacrificed her body, who overcame her pain and became something greater. These are the kind of things, not necessarily like at this level, where we make the sacrifices to be cleaner, be kinder, be compassionate, be wiser, be less emotional, so that we can have a better future, so that our future is better. And that is the main concept of karma, which is you are what you eat. What you do is what you are. And so the better of a person you are, the better your future will be. The worse a person you are, the worse your future will be. Whatever you want to have in life, make it happen by your own choices.